Hey folks, FJB3 here, a wrestling nut. Today's video, I'm going to give you my takeaways from last night's 3-hour Smackdown. First and foremost, my opinion is 3 hours is too long, always has been. You would think with that extra hour, that you could develop better storylines with the mid-card titles and the tag team championships. And they're trying. They're doing it. But overall, the show is whatever. They open up with LA Knight, talking, getting the crowd involved. And eventually, I hope this just goes to LA Knight, U.S. champion, defending against Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania. Fatu's a beast. That's how he's been booked. And a U.S. title run is imminent. He should have that match on WrestleMania mid-card and win in convincing fashion. I mean, shit. LA Knight lost cleanly to Nakamura. And for what we still do not know. It's a mystery. So that's what happened to open the show. So at least I see the direction of the U.S. Championship as far as defending the title at WrestleMania. Then we go on. All right. Then we got, Charlotte Flair. Before that, Jade Cargill speaks. If you follow that storyline, there may be some interest there. To me, I don't care. So whatever with that. Charlotte Flair had a match. Decent match. She's back in the ring. She's got to get the ring rust off. And they did something that they normally do, but it worked this time. Tiffany came in and they brawled it out. And it added a lot of intensity to that feud. I hope they get more into the storyline of, and I don't know if Charlotte Flair will allow this for her character, but she is in the Twilight Years. She's 39 years old. Tiffany Stratton's like 25, 26, whatever. It should be a generational storyline because they're so similar in their talents. I've said it before with their gymnast background and how they deliver high spots. And pretty much, I mean, Charlotte can ground wrestle. Tiffany, she's kind of taken a step back, but she has the capabilities. They could have a banger match. The storyline just needs to be a little bit better. That's my thoughts on that. Then we go on. Again, a 3-hour show. Drew McIntyre. All right. I want to talk to y'all about Drew McIntyre and get your opinion. He is, if I was to start a wrestling company and I needed 5 top guys, okay, just to start, these are the guys I'm going to build my wrestling promotion around, like AEW with their 4 pillars, even though we know what happened there. Drew McIntyre would be one of those 5 guys. I mean, he is that good. I mean, he's the total package. I mean, I believe Sheamus is that as well. But you're going to have a feud here between him and Damian Priest with the same old storyline of Drew McIntyre bitching that he has been screwed over time and time again. Though these two talents, I have no problem with Damian Priest. He's a great worker. He had a good run as far as what they did with him. I'm sure they're going to try to make this storyline, visceral to people. I'm sure it's going to be a great match, but man, that's Drew McIntyre's WrestleMania moment. That's Damian Priest's WrestleMania moment, and that's what we're getting. So, give me your thoughts on that. Miz TV with Cody Rhodes. I knew it. I knew exactly. I mean, what would happen? I knew exactly what would happen. Miz would talk shit. Cody comes out. Boom. Crossroads, and then Cody. I've said this before in previous videos, and I did it in a short. If John Cena is not there, and he's supposed to be in there on Monday, then none of this is relevant. We already know Cody's reaction. We need to hear from Cena. And I know he's a busy man, but it seems to me that you have to have John Cena there for this to really resonate with folks. So again, it was just another time-filling thing. You can take away what you want from that. I took away absolutely nothing. And again, this isn't to criticize everything. There's good things going on right now. Very good things. Okay, at least they have a direction with Jacob Fatu in the U.S. title. The Intercontinental title, I have no idea. So we're going to get to the tag team champions at the end of the show, but let's continue here with the takeaways. Shinsuke Nakamura, it's sad to even watch him in the ring anymore. I think he's done. Sorry, I like him too. Um, Randy Orton, you know, Carmella Hayes. You knew it was going to be a cool match, and you knew exactly what was going to happen too. You knew exactly what was going to happen. Well, an RKO out of nowhere. You know, after the win, and then another RKO, and then you knew Kevin Owens would come out, and they're setting up that match. To me, it's kind of meh. I love Kevin Owens. It's one of my favorites. Randy Orton, I respect the hell out of him. He might be in that top five of starting a wrestling company, but you know, my problem is the predictability. Okay, Triple H is in creative now, and you're kind of using the same formula that Vince McMahon used for years, and that's kind of the problem I have. Let's be a little bit more innovative in our storytelling. Um, it's just a wrestling nut thought. So we closed the show here. Sorry, we have Gunther in action. You know my take on Gunther versus Jey Uso. That's supposed to main event, I guess, night one of WrestleMania. I don't know how they're actually going to do that. Um, good match. They used to wrestle in NXT Europe. Uh, and in Gunther, you knew he was going to do what he did, and no Jey Uso, and he walked out. How'd that advance the storyline? Does that make it more exciting? Jey Uso, the underdog, redemption? No, not to me. Not to me at all. Paul Heyman spoke some corporate stuff, promoting. Who cares? Love Paul Heyman. He's the best on the microphone ever. He can spin a story like no other. Irrelevant to me. CM Punk. We'll get to that story on Raw, and then the tag team championship. Now, I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and I love tag team wrestling. I like it just as much as singles, sometimes even more. And Street Profits winning was the right decision. Let's see where they go forward. It seems every time they create something really good, and the Profits, I should say, are at the cusp of something really good. Let's see what direction they go forward, because a lot of times they drop the ball. So, SmackDown overall, you know, sometimes it's tough to get through 3 hours of it. Not a bad show, but again, my point is let's stop using the same formula that Vince used. Let's try to create different ways, more nuanced ways, other than focusing on one story. Let's have creative, juggle 6, 8 stories, which they're trying to do right now, but let's do it in a better fashion, a fashion that a wrestling nut can't always just see coming a mile away. Give me your thoughts. Thanks for listening.